Welcome to All the Gear But No Idea, the South Australian fishing podcast hosted by Rhodey and Diz. The boys will share their tall tales of the one that got away, as well as some regular segments they know all you fishing tragics will enjoy.
G'day guys and welcome to episode 82 of All the Gear But No Idea. Rhodey, we have a huge guest today.
He's a guru, this one.
Absolute guru. I've given him a big rap actually when I introduce him. Certainly got some of the best fishing credentials that we've ever had on our episode, Rhodey. That'd be fair to say.
You did come across as a bit of a fangirl.
I am.
If you want my honest opinion.
Of course, we are talking about Aaron Red Habgood. We are going to have a great yarn with him later on in today's episode, Rhodey, but this is a huge one, so buckle in, boys and girls.
All right, Diz, let's get straight into the oranges and lemons.
Yes, fair enough.
What do you got for us?
Well, look, I'll go into an orange, of course. Friday evening, pair.
Oh, they were so good, weren't they?
They were. It was a gutsy win.
7 straight.
Yeah, they were on a bit of a roll. A lot of close ones in those sevens.
Not getting ahead of ourselves, but we've won 7 straight. Our Punters Club's bought grand final tickets. The stars are aligning.
I hope so. Goodness me, I hope so. But no, it was a great win. A little bit wet. My seats where we sit are not quite as undercover as yours.
I
so
stayed beautiful and dry.
A little bit frosty when we got rain on, but well worth it in the end. You ready?
Diz, it was good to get out on the boat on the weekend. It's probably been too long between drinks.
Yeah, it definitely has been.
We didn't pillage them, but it was good to get the boat wet, get all that done.
Yeah, weather was better than we probably thought.
It was a nice morning, wasn't it? Clar pissed down while we were cleaning the boat.
Yeah, it was weird how it sort of held off the whole time while we were fishing, and then it just, the heavens opened. It was nasty. Brody, what was your lemon, mate?
Diz, this might come across as a bit controversial, but I'm going to say the plague proportions of baby snapper that were at every single whiting drop we tried.
Yeah, there were lots.
We were pulling in double header after double header. Around
Yeah,
that,
lots.
20 centimetre size?
Yeah.
25?
Yeah, lots. And we kept trying to shift to get away from them. We just couldn't.
Oh, they would have put in 50 of them.
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
Every
There was
drop,
lots.
you'd get like 6 or 8 straight off.
Yeah.
Double header, a couple of singles. It was me, Dad, and you fishing, and between the three of us, we probably would have caught, 50, I reckon.
Yeah, it was interesting because you always get to those drops and line over and bang, fish on with someone, and then it's sort of the nervous wait around what comes over the side, and then it was just non-stop snapper for a while there, wasn't it?
Oh, it was unbelievable.
Yes. Well, anyway, while we're talking about our fishing trip the other day, we have touched on this in our tackle item of the week, which is, of course, getting yourself a lovely pair of waders for when you are fishing in the winter, keep you nice and roasty toasty. Well, I did actually forget mine.
Oh,
Left them behind.
that was a rookie call if you ask me.
My goodness, it was frosty. So I don't know how I went from somehow having waders on to then wearing board shorts and no shoes in what's been one of our coldest days so far, winter. But I trudged on through. We got it done.
So, Diz, what do we get? We got 6 whiting, 5 whiting, 6 squid.
Yeah, something like that.
And an arrow squid.
Yeah, arrow squid. Geez, that caused a bit of a stir on Facebook. That did.
It has lit up the social media, hasn't it?
It's been good to see lots of other catches of them. I agree, they're pretty aggressive.
That one wasn't that aggressive though.
But
Fine.
it didn't actually hook the.
Nah.
It didn't it just latched onto the jag.
Yeah. But it
and
wasn't
stayed the whole way. It wasn't aggressive towards us, but it's very rare that you catch a squid like that.
Yeah, that's fair. But
So it was obviously attacking the jag pretty hard.
But lots of people did say they've caught them. 1 here, 2 there. No one really catches heaps of them, so they are fairly rare in South Australian waters.
Did we think there was a bit of a sort of deeper water type of arrangement?
Certainly before
Victor
the weekend, that was my impression of them. Yeah.
I suppose a few people said they got a few off Port Hughes. They're not terribly deep waters there.
Yeah. So
in the
anyway,
bay,
it was interesting.
Yeah, very good. Anyway, good day. Rhodey, bit of a merch update, mate. We've got the monthly photo comp. Of course, quite a few people sending in their photos of arrow squid. They'll go in the comp.
Yeah, they'll go in the comp for sure, Diz. So we'll put that one out there on our next episode.
Yes.
We'll announce the May winners. And as we did tease last time, I think June's going to be a rod and reel giveaway.
Yeah, June's going to be a big one, so warm up. If you've got two photos right now, send in your sort of mediocre one.
And are we going whiting for the next month?
Yeah, I think so.
Save your winter whiting pictures for us.
Save your winter whiting pictures for the comp where you're up for a fishing rod and reel. Shimano, of course, lovely gear. Great prize pack up for grabs though for May, so don't leave it too late. Throw in your photos, get them in there. We'll announce the winner next episode. Righty, good stuff, mate. Let's get into the next segment, mate.
Rody and Diz have been searching far and wide to bring you the latest news across all fishing in the state, and will give you the rundown on what you need to know.
Rody, we can thank your father Pete for this one. He sent in a bit of a news story for us.
He did, Diz, and it's about the snapper that we just touched on. So they're about to put 100,000 snapper fingerlings into the water of Spencer Gulf near Port Pirie. I'm reading here on this Premier's press release.
Yep, fantastic news. Great to see restocking. We love that. This was part of the commitment from the government when they announced the additional 3-year closure. Is that right, Rody?
That's it, Diz, and it says here, so it's part of the $1.2 million restocking program, which is a part of the $8.8 million snapper support package that is designed to get the stocks back on track.
Yep.
And it says here that the adult brood stock were originally collected from Spencer Gulf in 2019, and the current batch of fingerlings have reached the 40 millimetre size that is optimal for release.
There you go. So that's great news.
And I remember on that Purser presentation, but it says here as well that they dye the otolith bones, which are the ear bones, purple. So when they're sampled in the future, they know which ones are fingerlings and which ones are not.
There you go.
So I was having a good look in the snapper, little baby snapper that we caught on the weekend. I was having a look at all their ears to see how many were purple.
Any?
Yeah, most of them were purple.
Oh, there you go. Great to see, mate. A thriving fishery.
Nah, look, I don't know, mate, but just hypothesising.
Yeah, you're talking rubbish now. But that's great news to see. Wreckfish been very involved in this one. So great stuff to them for, supporting that fishery, getting it back on track, and hopefully we have some great outcomes in the years to come around the snapper fishery.
And they had a bit of footage on one of the newses last week, I reckon, of the thing down at West Beach where they breed them all.
Yeah.
Be nice if they gave us a look.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind a tour.
Be pretty cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be.
Big tanks full of baby snapper.
Yeah, it'd just be a whole bunch of tanks with some really well oxygenated and recycled water.
I might get down there with a couple of soft plastics and try my luck.
Yeah, right.
Can't catch snapper anywhere else.
You're pretty happy with 40 millimetre fingerling, would you be?
I'll get the big breeders.
Fair enough. Rody, what else we got? We got the Elliston Salmon comp. This is huge. Every year, we love it.
There's always some very good sized salmon caught in this one, Diz, and it's about to get underway. 1st of June is kickoff till 31st of August. Big prizes as always, $2,000 for heaviest, $750 for second heaviest. There's a $50 monthly photo competition. Salmon need to be caught between Sharinga and Mount Camel and weighed in with your entry ticket at the Elliston Caravan Park between 9 a.m. and 6 p.m. Tickets are $10, so they can be bought from the Information Centre, the Elliston Pub, the Waterloo Bay Caravan Park, the Elliston Caravan Park, the Venus Bay General Store, Port Kenny Hotel, or the Sharinga Roadhouse. Diz.
Epic, mate.
That was a lot of information there.
It was. You got to basically just get yourself down to Elliston or that area, at least the far west coast, catch yourself a salmon, drop it in, get yourself in the comp. Great prizes up for grabs.
And they claim they're the biggest salmon going around, don't they, over that way?
Yeah, I think that's the truth. That's the truth of the matter, isn't it?
All right, Diz, let's keep moving. This is another one that popped up on the social media over the last couple of weeks. It's the Southern Coast Ocean Care Facebook page that we want everyone to get around and get involved, Diz. And this is to sort of inform the public, let people know what's going on, because there is a plan that I think up until recently not a lot of people were on top of, Diz, and that's for some wind turbines out off Port MacDonnell.
Yeah, not great.
It's not, Diz, and I know the locals are pretty worried about what it could do to both the Southern Rock lobster fishery, but also the barrel tuna. And if you follow the page, it also talks about wedge-tail eagles being killed by wind turbines. So it's got a lot of potential impacts on wildlife, fishing, etc., Diz. And yeah, the map here I'm looking at, it's basically straight out off Port MacDonnell, and it's certainly going to have a big impact in those big barrel tuna, Diz. Yeah, look, you're definitely going to see some significant changes if this goes ahead. So we're clearly hoping that isn't the case. But, massive wind turbines creating, it'll be a huge footprint. And 77 wind turbines
is the plan. Enormous.
It's a lot.
That's a lot. And it's all clearly part of the Labor government's renewable energy scheme, which has copped a lot of criticism.
Yeah.
And a big shout out to Chris Bowen MP. Can't say I think he's going to be listening to this one.
Oh, you never know. I've heard he's listened
to
a bit.
But if we can get it far and wide enough, we need that bloke to listen in here. This is rubbish for the area. We don't like it. We don't want it.
So jump on the Southern Coast Ocean Care Facebook page. That's where you'll find all the information. There's been some local, down in the southeast, there's been some information evenings, but they share all the stuff that's going on down there on this Facebook page. So that's how you can keep on top of this and hopefully make an impact and get the decision going in our favour.
Yeah, love it. More to come on that, I think, Rody.
I don't think that'll be the last you'll hear. We'll keep you up to date.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, while we're down that neck of the woods, a bit further back towards Adelaide, Kingston boat ramp.
Yeah,
happening.
Bit of information about the proposal to re-establish the Kingston boat ramp, Diz.
Yeah, so the Kingston District Council, shout out to Lanzi.
Yeah, friend of ours, Lanzi works there. Actually, we should
friend of the show.
We should get her on the show.
We should have special comments, Alana. Good, interesting. So they have obviously wanted to re-establish the Kingston boat ramp.
Can you remind listeners why that's not operational?
Well, it's environmental factors.
It's a seaweed, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I think it's the environmental factors of seaweed, but also sand.
Yeah, isn't it just so clogged up with seaweed that they can't keep up with clearing it out?
Yeah, I think it's seaweed and sand, and I think there's a lot of conjecture about what has caused that.
Chicken
we
or
had
the egg?
We had Levi Nash on talking about this.
Yeah,
he used to say how he dived down that way.
Yeah,
I know, but it's been closed for ages because Cape Jaffa's only not that far up the road.
It's not a new story, is it? But this is talking about finally doing something about it. So members of the committee, they've set up a committee about this. And so it's the SA Recreational Fishers Association is holding an information afternoon at the Kingston Town Hall on Sunday the 4th of June, 2 till 5 p.m.
Might get myself down there.
You never know. Recfish is going to try and get down there. They haven't sort of fully committed on this post, but we'll see how we go. So they're going to talk about the WEIR concept and its proposed operation. There'll be working models that will be there to have a look at, Diz.
Very good.
So I'm probably not going to go myself, but I'll keep an eye on it because we do go down and stay at Goody and Lanzi's house from time to time, and would be good.
Should we send Henry as like a representative of all the gear?
You reckon he's got a microphone and a bit of camera? He could go get a bit of live footage?
Yeah, I'm not against it. All right, that's good. Let's watch this space because there'll be more to come on that too, Rody.
Diz, last bit of news here for you is this River Murray Crayfish. This is another one we've been following along, but they have now been released.
Yep.
So, big moment, and yeah, it's just a little article here that I was having a read of. It's the first time in 40 years. There's been dozens of Murray River crayfish released. I think it says around 200 actually, and it's been done in collaboration with the River Murray Mallee Aboriginal Corporation Rangers. So that's one of their Indigenous totems that's been lost for generations.
Yeah, okay.
So they're going to be involved in monitoring it down the track and things like that as well.
That's good. So just getting back a bit to those native stocks.
So yeah, we'll keep an eye on that one, Diz. That'll be really interesting to see when and where they turn up. I think they're keeping it a secret where they're putting them.
Yeah, fair enough. They don't want people targeting them.
No, so that'll be an interesting one to keep an eye on.
Though you'd imagine there's been quite a few yabby nets in the river at the moment.
Yeah, there would be.
Just with people like probably also yabby nets getting busted off with some of the high flows.
Yeah, you need to be getting pyramid nets though, remember?
Yeah, I know, but there's obviously going to be quite a few operas floating around.
Yeah.
Anyway, nonetheless, let's move on because we've got a very important tackle item.
Now it's time for Rhodey and Diz to really show you what it means to have all the gear with a lot of idea as they review a tackle item of the week.
Rhodey, tackle item this week coming in hot. So it's an interesting one because when you're out on the boat, whether it be you're sort of chopping up bait or clipping off the end of a tag on your knots, you want a sharp knife, don't you?
You do, Diz. And obviously when you get back to the ramp, pull the boat out, you start filleting the fish, you even more so want a sharp knife.
Yeah, you do. I mean, you want a sharp knife full stop. Nobody in their right mind likes a blunt knife.
No, not unless you're spreading butter.
So anyway, this week is we're talking about the Humble Knife Sharpener.
Yeah, and you had a good one, Diz. You bought it out on the weekend, just pulled it out of your back pocket out of nowhere. What was it?
Yeah, it's called a Clever Sharp. So it has a suction cup base. It's not overly expensive. This website I'm here seeing it as $20, plus a bit of freight, no doubt.
Yep.
But very little nifty feature that goes nicely onto your bait board or clips onto your gunnel, some kind of area like that, nice and handy. And you just suction cup it down, and there's a nice little diamond knife sharpener sitting on top of it. Very easy and functional to use. Quite aesthetically pleasing, nice on the eye, didn't you think?
Yeah, I thought it looked all right, Diz. And you filleted the fish, which was a rare scenario for all of us. But how'd it go?
Yeah, good. I think it's the tungsten carbide technology really does help extend the life of your knives. You can't go wrong.
And it's good to see you going out and, using a bit of initiative, getting some sort of nifty little gadget for the boat, because I can't help but feel like, you didn't go and buy the new metal ruler to measure the whiting, did you?
Well, at least I didn't do a half-assed job like you, mate. A little metal ruler floating around on the bottom of our boat's not much good.
What did I do at Bunnings yesterday? Bought some stainless screws. I'm about to put it in. I just haven't done it yet.
Me. Okay. Well, I look forward to actually using that properly next time. But, good little gadget for you to think about if you haven't got one already on your boat.
All right, Diz, that's a good little item you've got there. Good tackle item of the week. But this is what everyone's here to be waiting for. We're going to get him on the line. Red Habgood, he runs the Real Adventures radio show and fishing podcast with Patrick Dangerfield. He is the man, or one of the men behind the Salt Guide concept, the app and all that over in Victoria, the membership, which is what would you describe that as, Diz? It's like an online membership?
It's a membership, but I guess it's a platform for learning about fishing, but also getting great up-to-date information on where they're biting, reports, that sort of thing.
Yeah, so he's a full-time fisherman basically. He does guiding, he does all of this. He's had a heart transplant, so we hear a little bit about that. He's a big advocate for organ donation as well, Diz, which is a great cause.
Yeah, fantastic, mate. He's a legend, and let's hear it out of his own mouth, mate. Let's get him on the line.
Now it's time to get our guest on the line. We'll ask them the all-important 5 questions, then chat all things fishing in SA.
Rhodey, this would have to be our best guest so far, and that's no disrespect to our past, but this guy coming on the line now has some serious fishing credentials. Red Habgood, fantastic to have you on the line, mate. How are you?
Thanks, boys. Geez, I'll take that. It's a nice welcome. I hope I still have that title when you try and jag my mate Dangerfield on the line too. You can't give him all the credit there either.
No, we wouldn't be saying that about him. He might be our best footballer. Sorry, Ned McHenry and Tommy Jonas, but you've got the fishing side things covered.
Nah, thanks, boys. Appreciate you guys having me on.
All right, let's get straight into it. We're going to ask our 5 questions that we ask all our guests, and this will be a good one for you, I reckon. Tell us about your best fish.
It's a good question, and I've been fortunate enough to be fishing my whole life, and fishing's obviously become a job of mine. So it's very repetitive the way that I fish at home as such. So I like doing things differently. So when I do different things, that's when I really enjoy my fishing again. And since having a young family, getting the kids in the boat, well, mainly Finn, because me is still a bit young, but Finn's 3, he's brought back that enjoyment. So seeing him catch fish is what's bringing a lot of enjoyment back to my fishing. But the actual fish that's my number one best fish, it's going to have to go back to only probably a couple of months back. I've had dramas with the old ticker, and if you do follow me on my social medias and whatnot, my heart hasn't been real good the last couple of years. It's been very ordinary and nearly on my deathbed waiting for another heart, to tell you the truth. And then maybe about, as I speak to you guys, maybe around 10 weeks ago, I was laying in bed one morning and I said to the missus, I said, geez, this conversation's not going anywhere else, trust me. But I was laying in the bed and I said to her, the ticker's kicked in. And she goes, what do you mean? I said, Kari, I'm telling you, my heart's kicked in. And she's like, look, I've heard all this before over the last couple of years. I had some good days, some bad days. And sure enough, that day I ended up ringing the hospital and, long story short, told them to check my ticker. And funny enough, I was right. The ticker had kicked in again. And
amazing.
I managed to, and just before I went back to get that confirmation, I was out fishing with a gentleman called Lee Rayner. And he's a fantastic fisherman, one of Australia's most recognisable fishermen, Lee Rayner. And so we were lucky enough to have an amazing day at Portland. We managed to get 7 fish for the afternoon. And I said to Lee, I'm going to have a crack at one of these fish. And he goes to me, mate, don't die on me. He goes, no, you're not. I said, I'm going to have a crack. I'm good. I feel good. I can do this. And I'm 18 kilos lighter than what I normally am. So I'm normally around that 82 to 85, and I'm down to 66 kilo, give or take. And it's all fluid related with my heart. So it's a long story there, which we won't get into. But I'm a lot weaker than I was. And I said to Lee, I'm having a go at it. It ended up landing this fish. We let it go, which was even better because we killed the first fish. And we looked after that, and we don't need any more. So I said to Lee, I'm more than happy to see this thing swim off. Like, me going good, letting this fish swim off. I was literally blown away. I fought it for about 40 minutes, I think, this fish, and let a nice 100-kilo fish go, which was, I think it topped it off even better. And that was just like, for me to be able to do that again, and the feeling that I had landing that fish, and Lee allowed me to do that, I was literally like, I don't really get into the sort of emotional side of things, but I was stoked. Like, I haven't been able to tie my shoes for 2 years. Like, couldn't even hold my kid in the shower, like brand new baby, because I thought I was going to pass out and drop. Like, it was just so rewarding. And that was the start of where I am now. So I've got the all clear with the ticker. I'm flying. I've bought in a few more now, but I'm going to have to say that there is my most, I guess, the best fish, most rewarding fish I've ever caught in my life.
That's epic, mate. And we certainly do follow you on the socials, and that looked like an amazing day. So it's great to hear the full story there. That's brilliant, mate. Let's move on. Tell us your favourite thing about fishing. I guess that's changed for you a bit over the years, has it?
Yeah, so there's a couple of different angles I look at it. So I'm fortunate enough to have a business salt guide, which we'll talk about a bit later, but it's teaching people how to fish. And it's my favourite. The best part about that is I'm fortunate enough to teach on a large platform a lot of people how to fish. And when you're down at, say, Portland or Port Mac chasing these barrels, or in the Bermagui pub chasing marlin, or even just at the boat ramp after a whiting session, and people just come up to you and just say, hey, mate, we love what you do. Thank you. You've changed our fishing. Like, that's bloody amazing. Like, that's pretty cool being able to do that. And then, like I said to you before, having the young kid now, my favourite thing is fishing here for me in my local waters of Port Phillip Bay as such, and Bass Strait. It's very repetitive. So I started when I was 15 years old on the charter boats. So I was quite young, and I finished my VCE at school and went full-time into charter boats, started a couple of businesses along the lines with fishing to where I am now. And it took the love out of fishing, let's be honest. Like, I didn't want to see another whiting. I didn't want to see another snapper. I didn't want to see another gumbo. But like I said to you before, that marlin and the barrels and the things that I haven't done every day for 15 years is what I love doing. But then having Finn, my little man, like, to wake up in the morning, he goes, Daddy, can we go to work today? Like, because I always say to cut to my partner, I'm going to work. What are you doing today? Yeah. What do you want? And I just say to him, what do you want to do? And he'll just go, oh, can we go catch baby marlin? So they're garfish. And he's 3 now. Or he'll be like, can we go catch a gummy shark, or whatever he wants to do. He drives it now. So, like, I try and get him out every week with me, at least once a week. It's a bit harder this time of the year because it's miserable outside, and I do some silly hours out there. But during the summer period, it's a lot easier. But I try and get him out. I try and leave at 9 in the morning and miss that cold. This is things if you've got young kids. You don't have to be on the water at 6 a.m. during winter when it's still 4 degrees outside, if you're smart and fish your tides, and it doesn't matter where you are, if you're in Port Phillip or if you're in South Australia and you're fishing Coffin Bay down that way, or if you're wherever you are, whatever you're doing, if you fish your tides, you can allow you to do stuff with kids and fish the warmer part of the day so they actually enjoy it and get the wind that's behind your back with the tide the way you're sitting. So there's ways to do it, and I try and get him out. And honestly, people say it sounds tacky. To have him nagging me to go fish, I absolutely love it again. Like, he's literally brought so much joy to it. I go out now, I get my work stuff done with him, but I'll fish with him. Like, he's the one that goes, he wants to wind the fishing. Or he goes, can we do the squid now? Like, he's really brought that enjoyment of fishing back to myself and to him.
Yeah, it's amazing what you do, Red. And we've seen that on your socials, taking the kids out. And we've both got 1-year-olds, and we're looking forward to them getting a little bit older and taking on some of your tips and getting them out on the water.
Oh, 100%. Is like, people will say taking your kids out fishing is the best, and it honestly is. For me, it gives me that break from work, like I said.
Yep.
He just gets home, and if I don't bring fish home, like, even me just going, I had a talk on the weekend. I took the boat with me to get serviced, and I got home and I was in trouble for taking the boat. I snuck out without him. And then he's like, what fish did you catch? Where are the fish? Mate, I didn't go fishing, buddy.
Doesn't understand the servicing and all that.
No. And he certainly doesn't chip in for fuel a little bit. So.
All right. Tell us about your first sort of fishing memory, or what got you into it, or sort of your journey as a young fella to get to where you are now.
Yeah, so just same as pretty much everyone nowadays. It's a lot different with women in recreational fishing. It's great to see. Like, I've obviously got a daughter, Mia, she's about similar age to your guys' kids. So she's about to chuck the old life jacket on in the next bit. She's just started walking. She's got good on her feet, and that's when I started with Finn, was just getting her comfortable on the boat. So not necessarily fishing for 10 hours a day. It's more just going to see the seals and dolphins with her, and we'll get a few squid and let her start touching the fish and engaging with it. And that's the good thing with women in fishing now. With your mum can take you fishing. I'm seeing on social media that there's so many mums, but back for me, we were one of 4 boys, so it was the old man that got me into fishing. So it was purely dad, but my mum loved fishing too. So once we got older, mum was always out with us, but as I got older, I'm the oldest of 4, so it was dad and myself and the younger brother and vice versa. Mum was always at home looking after the kids. And then, so same as nearly everyone, your old man got me into fishing, went out with him, started on the charters when I was 15, locally. So if anyone that is at school right now and they're finishing their VCE, head down to your local charter in summer. And if you want to get into the fishing game, work on the weekends, work on school holidays like I did, and then they'll teach you the basics. That's where you start to learn all your understandings of swell, your tides. You just ask questions like I did, being that annoying kid, and you will learn from there. And that's what drove me into fishing. And I thought at the age of 15, when I started right up to when I finished chartering and whatnot, it was the best job in the world. You're on the water, like you're on the water fishing every day, and it does get to be a job. But in my opinion, as a young kid, 16, 17 years old, making, I don't know, $25 an hour on a decky on a boat, that's better than working in a supermarket, in my opinion. And there's plenty of work during the summer period. So it's a great way to get your nose into the industry.
Yeah, no doubt. And don't worry, we still go out on charter boats and with other people, and we're still that annoying kid asking stupid questions and picking the bloke's brain about what he's doing and why he's doing it.
It's the best way to do it. I did it myself in Noosa last year on a charter to learn the area and the bar, and then it's a great way to do it.
Excellent, Red. Tell us about your favourite sort of fishing and why currently, mate. Is it you've done a fair bit of chasing barrels? Is that your favourite at the moment?
My favourite, in all honesty, would have to be the marlin. Yeah. I love marlin fishing. Barrel fishing, I absolutely love too. So I'm actually enjoying barrel fishing a lot more. I'm going to sound a bit like an arrogant prick here. I've got them very worked out. I've got them very worked out. I've got my moons, my tides, my techniques on the day. I've done a lot of it. So you start from somewhere. So everyone starts from scratch. And that was a long time ago for me chasing these fish. I think it was, say, 2009, maybe 2008 was when we first got them. I reckon I was about, I would have been 16, 17. It was just after my heart transplant when I was a kid. So that's nearly 15 years ago when they first started, when I managed to be I was actually a charter boat out of Apollo Bay back then. And that's when we first managed to get tuna down that way. So barrels are great, but marlin barrels are also hard work. And what I mean by that is it comes down to the weather that you're often fishing is quite crappy. So you're often in sloppy water. The water temperature's cold. You're in Portland in the morning. You got your overalls on. You're doing all this hard work for trying to stay warm. And then not just that, barrels now, we've got a good method the way that we catch them at the moment with the way we run our drags and manoeuvre in the boat. We're knocking them over pretty quick, but it's all down low and it's a hard fighting fish. They're a challenging fish. They pull hard. Where the marlin, you rock up to Bermagui, for instance, you rock up down that way and you're in T-shirts, you're in shorts, you're in thongs for the day, you're comfortable, you still patch 750 boat, you're in a big boat and you head down there and you're warm and you get them on the bait balls and whatnot. It's all visual fishing like the barrels are at the moment too, but you just warm. The marlin, you can knock them over in say 15 minutes. We had a couple of 6 days this year. We've got some 6 fish. I missed the main bite this year because I was a little bit crook with the ticker still, so I didn't get to do as much as I wanted to do. But we made a couple of really good days up there, and the fish is all acrobatic in the air. And like you said, you're knocking them over in 15 minutes on lighter gear. No one's getting real hurt on the rod. It's I don't know. It's just that thing with marlin fishing, those beautiful colours. And don't get me wrong, those barrels are beautiful too. But the marlin's definitely the one that I thrive on the most.
Yes, no, very jealous of some of that fishing you get up to, for sure. What about, Red, tell us your funniest fishing story. You must have plenty over the years.
Oh, funniest fishing.
Here's your chance to stitch someone up.
I'm going to stitch myself up, I reckon. I managed to get a hook in my foot.
Oh.
Did you guys see that?
Oh, yeah, I reckon I did. Yeah. You put that up, didn't you?
It's nasty.
Yeah.
I've got some funny stories. I'm just trying to think. You've caught me off guard there with the funny, and I'll think of someone else. But with me, I ended up, we're at the caravan park at Eden, actually, marlin fishing, half a dozen years ago, say. I actually got the tattoo on my foot of where the hook went through as a bit of a joke. Mrs. wasn't happy with that, but cover it with the socks, that's all right. But we were packing up to come home, marlin fishing, and back then we didn't have, I guess, the finances to actually. It started off with, as we were kids, we probably didn't have the finances to afford staying in the luxury cabins like everyone else. And this is when we were 17, 18, and we go down to Bermagui or Eden or wherever the bite was, and we fish for a week. We do a week with my mates every single year, and we chase marlin, and we have a great time. But caravan parks, we got the swags out, the tents, everything, and we're packing up the campsite. And I said to the boy, I sort of had the sads on because I think I wanted to fish that morning, and the boys didn't want to fish. And there was a lure bag on the ground, and I said, and the lures were hanging out of it. I think the lure was hanging out of it. And I said to him, who didn't pack these things up properly? Blah, blah, blah. Probably a few swear words in there. I've got the dads because we're not fishing. They wanted to go home. And I've gone to rip this lure bag up, and I've somehow ripped this lure, Dojo 12-0 through my hook, through my foot. I pulled it through myself, and I look up, and the boys sort of go, no, I think he left it there. And I said, don't worry about it, boys. I said, I think I'm in a bit of trouble here. And they're like, what do you mean? I said, I'm in a bit of strife here. And they're like, and one of my mates no good with blood, and I told him to walk away instantly because he was going to pass out. And then one of my mates walked next to me, so I quickly chucked my shoulder on him, and I ended up passing out, and I dropped to the ground and pulled the old hook through my foot, and I'm laying there just sort of like in pain. And anyway, we rang the ambulance. They come down and took me up to the Bega Hospital, and we had the presentation that afternoon. We actually won the biggest marlin that competition. So I missed. The boys went. The 3 other boys went to the awards. I didn't even get to get my trophy, but the boys went and got I got taken to the Bega Hospital, and they ended up having to. They couldn't pull this thing out with anything. They tried cutting it out with the big. What do you call the cut the locks with? Whatever they're called. Yeah. You had to,
bolt cutters.
Trying to cut. Bolt cutters, they're trying to cut them out with that, couldn't get it. In the end, they had to cut it out with a knife. So they ended up slicing my foot on either side and managing to get it out. It was big. I did a good job, and missed out on the presentation, missed out on everything, picked the boys up on the way back from the presentation, had my sit in the back seat, and my foot was up on the chair all the way back, and I've still got weird feelings years later where that hook went through my foot, obviously with the tendons and whatnot. So, yeah, that's a no good story, but I can't think on the top of my head of anything really funny that I've got. I'm trying to throw someone under the bus here. If I think of it, if I think of something, I'll bring it up.
That's right. You probably catch the fish. We all lose them, so we got funny stories.
Oh no, I've had my fair share of losing fish. Don't you worry about that. That always happens to the best of us. I promise you that one.
Red, tell us about the starts of Real Adventures, your podcast, of course, with great footballer Paddy Dangerfield. Tell us about your podcast, mate.
That's probably the one bloke that I've got funny stories with. He's bloody hopeless, old Patrick. No, he's a very. We all know Pat can play footy. He absolutely loves footy, and he's the first to tell you. Pat absolutely loves fishing, but not just fishing. He thrives off the industry. So during the week, we got our radio show, which is on SEN every Saturday morning, and obviously the podcast, which is the same show that goes out during the week, like you mentioned. And basically, I'll start getting stuff for the week ahead. Pat will send me the most 55 articles about fishing in the industry that I don't even care about, and he just loves it. He just absolutely loves the industry, and he's like, "We'll talk about it this week, Pat." I'm like, "Pat, we've got literally 16 minutes at the start of our show where we can talk. You've named 80 things. Like, you can't fit." The bloke just loves the industry. He really, really does, and he doesn't get to fish as much as he'd like. Once footy tees off a bit, he'll probably be even busier, as I keep telling him, with commentating and probably CEO of the AFL. But he absolutely loves it. We got Real Adventures, which is on Saturday morning, 11:16 SEN, like I said, and check your local guides. It's all around the country. We've been doing that, I think, just over 6 years now. And how it started was I was at Queenscliff one day. I can't remember what I was working or fishing, and I didn't even know Dangerfield was out. And I'm actually close with Cameron White, who plays the old Aussie cricketer.
Yeah.
And Cam must have been talking to Pat via text. And Cam goes, "Oh, your mate Pat's out." And I don't, like, as a joke. And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, it's hopeless, no fishing, blah, blah, blah." And I look up and he's on the squid, and I just turn around and he's trying to net squid, and there's ink all over this brand new 650 hardtop North Bank, like just covered in ink. And I think he had Troy Selwood on the boat. He had maybe his brother, Troy's brother, Scooter, and he had his old man. And this was just, I was just laughing, like, and we were getting our bag of squid, and he's just trying to copy what we're doing. And we get back to the boat ramp, and his old man's trying to clean squid, and there's just ink going everywhere. And I said, I didn't even speak to Pat. I said to his old man, I said, "Mate, can I help you out with that?" I said, I run guides to teach people how to fish. Do you mind if I help you teach you how to clean a squid? I said, like, this is pretty ordinary what you're doing. He's like, there's just ink all over his bait board, like just everywhere. And I'm just like, you don't have to pop the ink sac to clean a squid. Let me show you a trick or two. So I ended up talking to his dad and told him what I did and gave him my card. And believe it or not, it was a couple of days later, Pat rings me and he goes, "Mate, I want to hire you for this." And I said, "Look, mate, don't hire me for something." I said, "If you could just give me a share on social media or whatnot, I'd take you out fishing for the day." And we just clicked. We just clicked. I think he likes the normality. I'm a pretty realistic guy, so I give him a fair bit of normality. I'm the first to bring him down to earth, even though his head doesn't fit in the cabin of his boat. But I'm the first to try and bring the bloke down to earth, and we've got a fantastic relationship. We have our arguments that not many people would have with Pat. Like, he's like I said, we have a very good friendship that everyone, just like any other friendship would have. He's a really good guy. He's done a lot for me in the industry, like getting me involved in the media and teaching me how to speak. He's been fantastic for me, and he's just, like I said, loves the game. He loves his 750 hardtop. Doesn't get to use it, but as much, so it's a great thing for me because I get to use it. And $400,000 boat there, so it's nice to use. And yeah, it's a great show we have. Runs for 40. It's an hour segment, but 42 minutes, and that's Real Adventures. And I think, did you ask Salt Guide? Did you want me to mention the Salt Guide?
That was next. Stuff? So yeah, keep going.
Yeah. So the Salt Guide is I think we started that either just before Real Adventures or just after. So it's I run this gig with another bloke called Craig, and Craig, who's more, you won't hear Craig's name much. He's behind the scenes and he does all the hard work, let's be honest. And it's a big gig that he has running the website and everything. And Gwayne Blake, who is another fishing, I guess, expert, as you could say, and he covers the Western Port region and everywhere else. So we cover a lot of ground. And what Salt Guide is, it's an online fishing platform that just teaches you how to fish. So you log in, it's $150 a year, I think, and it's $15 a month. You get all access to our weekly fishing reports. It teaches you exactly how to fish for the week ahead. So we write a fishing report that comes out, say, on a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, depending on what the weather's doing. It comes out on one of those days. And it's about what the moons are doing, the tides are doing, and how to fish for the week. And we'll say, we'll write King George whiting. This is how I approach it. You got the tides for the week. This is the times I'd fish, rough, blah, blah, blah. And then we'll give you some areas on where to start for those fish so you guys can actually catch fish. And that's for every species that's sort of on offer. And we spend a lot of time. It takes me roughly, this time of the year is probably 2 hours to write the report. But once we've got all the kingfish and the tuna and all the likes in, it takes up to 4 hours, snapper in the bay, to write the weekly report. And then we've got like a lot of clips on there, short clips, so you can, so we'll say, for example, whiting, once again, if you want to learn just how to tie a hook on, or if you want to learn how to understand all the tides, how to burley, it's all short videos. So you're not watching an episode of an hour to get your answers. You can watch what you want. It goes into more depth of everything, obviously. We've got barrel tuna on there, marlin, you name it. It's all on there. So just teaching guys how to fish. And it's a great thing we've built, and we're fortunate enough it's been very successful in both avenues for people that use it, and obviously for us as business owners, it allows us to actually keep doing the job. So it's been a great little gig for us.
I think we need to get you over to Adelaide and set that up over here too.
It's on the cards. So
is it? Oh, okay.
We've had conversations in Tasmania about franchising over there. That was going to be the first one, and it's very hard to. Not having to dig at any sort of person, but if you feel like you're the right person for it, if you listen to this right now, send us an email, because we want the right person. And what we mean by the right person is we're very passionate on what we do. Some people crack the sads with us, say we're wrecking fishing by teaching people how to fish. Times are gone. So the times are gone of secrets. You got social media, you got this and that. No matter what, it's all gone. It's not. Fishing used to be secret. It's not secret anymore. And we love helping people. We genuinely do. People go, "Oh, you've wrecked fishing because people got to work out how to catch a barrel themselves." That was 20 years ago. Like, the times are past. Like, look at Facebook, look at Instagram. You look at a photo where a charter is, and you know what they're catching. All we do is just teach you how to do it as well, properly. And we want that person that we find anywhere in the country, say South Australia or Sydney or whatever it is, we want them to be as passionate as us. We want them to actually be willing to help people. We need them to cover the right areas and be committed to actually having a crack at this, because we're not half-assed. We're not doing this where it's literally like as good as it can possibly get. Everything's in high definition. 4K, whatever you want to call it, all that stuff. We want to do it properly. We need the right people, and if you are interested, fire us an email, and we'd love to have a chat with you if you're there. And it's if we can help people in South Australia catch more fish, it's what we love doing.
Epic, mate. We love what you're doing, and you're absolutely right. The times are gone. It's now about sharing information and getting other people to enjoy what is, most definitely the favourite pastime, but goodness me, it's great to clear your head, get out there on the water, and we love what you're doing, mate. That's epic. Now, we are going to touch on with you, though, mate. We do want to get a few tips off you about Port Mac barrels.
That was a tongue twister, isn't it?
It was. Tell us, mate, we need a few tips. We've been down to Port Mac a couple of times ourselves and haven't had much joy. Tell us about it. Got any tips for the listeners out there and ourselves?
I do. I've got a lot of tips for you, to be honest with you. And a lot of the tips are going to be hard to do, but what I mean by that is everyone has full-time jobs.
Yes.
So this is the biggest tip I can give you. Now, I had a barrel talk just recently gone, and this was the first thing I started with. Why people go, why do you catch so many fish? And the reason I catch so many fish on them is we're up to 28 for the season. We've landed 28 barrels for the season. So for me to be able to do that for a job as well, it sounds dumb. I don't go down there if I'm not going to catch a fish. And what I mean by that is I put all the elements and everything in my favour. So what I'm looking at is boat traffic. When's there not going to be too many boats? That's the first one I'm looking at, because when you get a lot of boats fishing, especially off Port Mac in that small area where the fish are, it can push them down. So boat traffic. So if you have a job that allows you to be flexible or allows you to take time off and you're able to pick stuff during the week where there's not many other people, that is your best bet. That's going to catch you fish than any other method that I can teach you. It just is. I'm sorry, but it's just a fact that if you get down there and there's 5 boats, it's much better than a Saturday when there's 40.
Yeah.
So that's my number one. Number 2, following your tides. Now, I will complicate this at times, but your tides are your biggest factor in catching fish. So whenever you've got a moon phase, the lead up to a moon phase is, in my opinion, the worst time to catch fish. And you've probably heard of a saying of dodge tides. And everyone will go, oh, we had dodge tides, we had dodge tides. And what dodge tides are is a tide that doesn't have flow in it. So it's a tide that, for instance, you might have one tide for the day that just gradually runs for 9 hours. And that just is no tide change during the day. You don't have anything to work with. Or if there is a tide change during the day, it's not significant enough to affect the flow of water.
Yeah.
So I'm always avoiding those days. So they're generally on the lead up to a moon. So on a moon phase, you can actually fish. Say if the new moon's tonight, for instance, you can actually fish today, and yesterday will be okay. But the days leading up to that is actually when you have your rubbish tides. Now, as it falls away and you get your big tides, that's what I'm looking for. Anywhere where there's big tides, that's what I love to fish. Big tides, if you can get 2 of them in the day and fish both tides, like if you can, that's your best time to catch fish. But it's not necessarily on the tide change. People get tide change. People go, oh, the tide change at 12, the fish will bite at 12. It's not that time. It's actually the lead up to it. The slack water period isn't always great. You're not going to have much on that period where there's no water flow. What you're actually fishing for is the hour before and the hour after. That's when the water just starts to ease, when the fish they'll come up for an hour and then they'll tend to go away, and then they might come up again on the other side of the tide change. And that is 2 bite times that I'm always looking for when I'm picking the days that I want to go. Another one that is probably another big factor in it is your offshore winds. So what an offshore wind is, it's a wind that comes from land to sea. And what it does is it actually allows you to fish in a bit windier conditions. If you have a 15 to 20 knot southerly, it's bloody rough. It's rough. It comes from Antarctica. It's cold. It's miserable. It's rough. But if you get a 15 knot northerly off the land, it's still cold. Don't get me wrong. But what it does, it doesn't build up rough. It doesn't build up roughness. The last fish that I got off Port Mac was 6.7 k's from the ramp. You're 6 kilometres from the ramp. You're in 35 metres of water. We got, I think, 5 fish for the day, and we were literally like under 7 kilometres the whole time, with a 15 to 20 knot northerly wind.
Yeah.
That is calmer than a 10 knot southerly, because you don't have the build up of sea. I love fishing after rough weather. So if we get 3 days of rough weather and the next day is going to be calm and you only got 1 day, I'll be on there on that day, because they will go nuts after the blow, and there's not many boats that will fish it.
Yeah.
So it's about fishing right times, right places, having the flexibility like I do, which allows me to catch a lot of fish. It really does. I'm more fortunate because it's my job, but a lot of people don't have that flexibility, and I understand that. But if you can somehow time all those things, you're going to catch fish. And live bait these days is a great thing to be aware of too. Dropping live baits into these bait balls, you're going to catch a lot of fish.
Mate, that's pretty comprehensive, and you've told us all we need to do. Now, all we need to do next is quit our jobs, go full-time fishing, and we'll get fish like he does.
100%. If you quit your job right now and just jump on with people, you'll be right. No, it's like I said, it is hard to do, but I understand. Like, it's the first tip I can give you. But if you can time work off where you can pinch 2 days, which a lot of people can. There's a lot of business owners out there, and not just business owners. There's a lot of people that have businesses that they can work on weekends and cover them. Like, that's how I've got mates that will work weekends just to go, because they can see a period coming up to make it work, because they'd rather work that time. And I know you've got families and kids, and I know it's hard. I honestly do. I talk to people all the time. But the difference in going down and doing 8 trips and catching 0 fish to committing to that one time in that, if you say you went down, say 8 times overall, but you actually planned this out where you went once or twice, you will catch fish and not waste those 8 trips. And those 1 to 2 days off work that you're going to take is better than fishing 8 weekends.
Do it once, but do it properly.
If you want to just get a fish, it honestly is. And if you're just happy to be out there, and you might, don't get me wrong, you'll get fish on weekends when there's boats, you will, but the chances, they get harder to get fish. They really do.
Yeah. Now, you've been absolutely super generous with your time. We could talk to you for 5 or 6 hours and we'd be learning the whole time, and the guests the listeners would learn a heap. But thanks a lot for coming on the show, Red.
No dramas at all. Anytime. More than happy to come on again and give me a buzz, and we can talk something different. And happy to help out. Thanks for having me.
Excellent, Red. Thank you very much again, mate. All the best. Glad to hear you're going well with the ticker and everything, and it's great to follow you on the socials and have a chat with you. Thanks again, mate.
No, appreciate it, boys. Thanks again.
Diz, that was great to learn a lot off Red.
How's the insight at the end around when to chase the barrels?
Yeah,
I love that.
I did see you get the notepad out and jot a few notes down.
Yeah, I was scribing. But if you think I'm not going to listen back to this episode, you're kidding yourself.
So yeah, no, he's a guru, Diz. He's as good a fisherman as there is in this country, I would have thought.
Yeah, and look, I couldn't agree with him any more around sharing information.
Well, look, that's probably what this podcast's all about, isn't it, Diz?
We all like to keep that one, really good, trusty, reliable spot.
Yeah.
And I don't think he's given up his best spots.
Nah, but
Nor would anyone.
There's also no harm in giving out ballparks and,
I love that.
a lot of those, the snapper don't sit in the one spot all year, do they?
Nah, that's right. Love the sharing is caring. All right, Roddy, let's get on to it, mate. We've got the fishing report.
Rhodey and Diz have been out on the water to bring you the news about where they're biting. Now it's time for the fishing report.
The salmon have been firing at Wapinga and Parsons, Roddy.
Diz, that
heaps of photos.
it's that time of year, isn't it? The weather gets cold, it gets windy, it gets a bit wet and rainy, and that brings them out.
Yeah, they get in those nice deep gutters close to the shore. Plenty within casting distance.
I've seen a few different Instagram stories on some of our followers getting down there and getting amongst them.
Yep. Sometimes you need to go for a bit of a walk.
Yep.
But you can get yourself perched on the headland there, where a lot of the surfers will sort of scope out. Am I going to surf Parsons? Am I going to surf Waits? Where's the sandbars? Where are they breaking? You can get up there and look for the fish too.
And that's a good tip, isn't it, Diz? Get high, you get a better vantage point. You can see the black shadows, the black shape of the school.
Yeah. Yeah.
I suppose the other option we now have is sending the drone out.
Yes, of course.
That'd be a good way to do it.
Yeah, that's right. You just want to pick your weather for that. You don't want it sort of howling offshore or blowing its guts out onshore. But yeah, of course. Even the Waits car park, you get a pretty decent view up.
Yeah, that's probably similar to like Brown's Beach down in Yorks. You can do the same.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Roddy. Good
and
shout.
all those sort of, your usual salmon haunts over on the Eyre Peninsula. We talked about the Elliston comp, Brown's Beach on Yorks, Wapinga, all the common regular spots will start to fire up in the next little bit.
Yes, they will. Absolutely. Roddy, barrels, it'd be remiss of us not to talk about them. But, yeah, I mean, we've heard from Red. We know they're going off down there at Port Mac and those parts. Get down there, get amongst them.
We did share a photo of young Will Sheen, Diz, who won our Shimano prize over Christmas. He went down on a recommendation from us with Want to Fish and caught an 84-kilo barrel. So he's only a young fella. That's a ripping catch.
How's that to pop your tuna cherry that way?
Yeah, oh, mate, he made me jealous.
Unbelievable.
And, yeah.
He'll be coming out, going out jelly bean fishing and he just won't know himself. He'll be eating it.
Yeah, he started from the top, hasn't he?
He has.
So Want to Fish has been getting amongst them. Port MacDonnell charter's been getting amongst them.
Yeah, plenty of fish being caught. And you want to be out there with the people who's in the know. And
I think Red Habgood and Ned McHenry did a little trip the other day.
Yeah, they did. Well, that must be Ned's second. Or I'm sure they caught multiple on that day, but Ned's been down there a couple of times now, getting onto him.
What about bloody 27 barrels for the year?
Oh, I know. I think you said 28 even.
Was it? What a power move, just flopping that into conversation.
Up to 28. Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah, tough, isn't it?
Yeah, fair enough.
Anyway, good on him.
Epic day, though.
And what about
Rainer out there catching, what they say,
7 yeah.
Huge day.
What about Diz talking about the tuna? They're still getting them off Victor, which is amazing.
Yeah, it is. It's a bit of a resurgence, I think. Maybe it'd been on the down low and they've been there the whole time. Maybe some of that dirty water's cleared and they've come back in. I don't know.
Video floating around and definitely could see tuna.
Yeah, Newland Head, mate, not that far out.
No, it didn't look far away.
Yeah, so people are still getting them quite late in the season.
Yeah, I would have thought.
Yeah.
What are we now? We're nearly at the end of May. Normally April, Easter's sort of the end of them.
Yeah. Very interesting. Roddy, the whiting. We can't say that they're absolutely sort of coming in hand over fist off Port Vincent.
No, we got 5 and probably threw that many again back that were just undersized. They're all close.
Yeah.
It would be interesting, Diz, whether they were down there and just those baby snapper were getting on the hooks too quick.
Yeah, maybe.
But you'd think from now on the winter whiting really fire?
Yeah, you'd think so. They sort of come into that shallower water this time of year.
Yeah.
Want to pick your tides.
The place I have been hearing them is Port Vic.
Yeah, going off.
Yeah. Been certainly hearing reports from over there, Diz. And I think we've got 2 weekends coming up over on Yorks in the next 5 or 6 weeks, so that'll be good.
Yeah, hopefully we'll do some damage on them then. That'll be good. Fill up the freezer a bit, Rhodey?
Yes, Diz. And what about, I actually had whiting for dinner, just touching on that. So,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
again, I need some more.
Oh, jeez. You like it? What is Lil like a bottomless pit of whiting consumption?
Well, they gave her bloody tuna mornay at childcare the other week out of a can. I was outraged. She only eats fresh
She probably
fish.
didn't eat it.
She didn't. Of course she didn't. She said, that's not fresh.
She came home hungry.
She said, where'd you catch that? Which golf? Where'd you get it?
Which golf?
She barely talks and she knows that she's not eating that rubbish.
Yeah, hilarious.
Fresh fish or nothing around here.
What's she think of squid? Haven't gone there?
Quite chewy.
Yeah, probably a bit of a choking.
She hasn't got as many
hazard
teeth as Ned.
Yeah, fair enough. But squid, Rhodey, we fished quite well for them. We did not really give it that much of a crack, and we got half a dozen in pretty good time.
Yeah.
Massive squid.
Oh, they were hooers, weren't they?
So we caught we
caught
six.
six, I
Three
reckon.
sort of
3 tiny ones and 3 hooers.
Yeah, but like the 3 that you say tiny ones were only tiny because the other ones
that's
were
fair.
massive.
Yeah.
They weren't big. They were just probably your average sort of smaller sized calamari. But oh geez, when I hooked up that second one and it started pulling drag, I was like, "We're on here. This is a big
wasn't it?
fish,
Yeah, it was a big squid.
big squidly."
And the arrow squid to finish it off, as we talked about.
Yeah, that was interesting. Good to see that as a catch, and sparked a bit of interest on Facebook, which we love, Rhodey.
Yeah, Diz, that'd be the fishing report, wouldn't it?
Short, sharp, and shiny. We like that.
All quality though, Diz. All quality.
That's right. Where can the listeners find us, mate?
Diz, jump on the socials, Facebook and Instagram. Make sure you get your last minute sort of photos in. There's still a week left in May. Get them in to win the Shimano prize pack.
Yep.
And the rod and reel combo will be coming in June, Diz, for the competition.
Yeah.
And we'll keep that up to
We're
date
going to
on
run
the
that
Facebook
probably
and Instagram.
after the June long weekend. Give people a chance to get their photos in over the June long weekend.
Yeah, I assume we'll probably open it up for most of June, will we?
Yeah.
Submissions of photos and entries. But that'll be a great prize from Shimano, Diz.
Yep, we will. We look forward to that. So, find us on Facebook, Instagram, share it around, Spotify, Apple Music, the likes. You can't miss us.
Diz, that's been a great episode, a ripping guest. We've got some good stuff in the report and the news. That's been a really good chat.
You're pretty happy with yourself?
It's been one of our better ones. I think we're just hitting our straps after 82.
Ooh, geez, you wouldn't want to. You'd be eyeing off the nervous 90s from here.
Oh, we're back on your century chat.
Thanks for listening, guys.
See ya.
Rhodey and Diz hope you enjoyed today's episode of All the Gear But No Idea. Keep up to date by liking and sharing us on Facebook and Instagram. And you can subscribe on all the major podcast platforms. Until next time, good luck fishing.